Welcome back to California Cooking. Today, I'm enjoying the beautiful outdoors. Well, because our house is a disaster. We're undergoing some major renovations, so I hope you don't mind the disruption. But we're getting you ready for Valentine's Day with the perfect breakfast for your sweetie, a personalized treat that you can make with the kiddos, and a rose-shaped dessert. We start with a husband and wife team with a passion for food, their culture, and their community. Katiana and John Hong left their jobs in fine dining to pursue their dream of opening up their own restaurant. Let's go inside Yangban Society.
I'm John.
I'm Katiana.
And we're the husband and wife team of Yangban Society. We met cooking in Santa Monica back in like 2009 for Josiah Citron at Melise. Yangban Society for us was kind of an opportunity for us to explore some of our own history, our own cultural identity, and kind of share that through food.
We knew we wanted to do something that would be, somewhat Korean and have to do with our culture and our heritage, but it kind of transitioned from more of a goal of doing something fine dining to doing something really approachable, really neighborhood driven, and something for the community. We call the cuisine something that's just authentic to us, meaning I'm Korean American, John is Korean American, but we grew up having, very different experiences. John's family came to the United States from Korea, and so he grew up in a household where they're eating Korean food, speaking Korean. His grandmother lived with them. He had a very somewhat traditional upbringing. I was adopted from Korea when I was 3 months old, and I grew up in New York. My dad's Jewish, my mom's Irish Catholic. We are cooking food that, it's authentic to us, but it's coming from two different lenses, so it's interesting to kind of see how that comes together.
I think it was always the dream to open a restaurant, and for us to be able to share something more personal and in depth, and was actually just kind of icing on the top for us.
The concept is a deli. It should be pretty familiar in nature, and that everything at the deli is on display, and there's a lot of pickles and cold items, but there's also some hot food, and we sell everything by weight, so you can get as little or as much as you'd like. And then we complement those things with a lot of specials that come from the kitchen, a lot of like heartier dishes and sort of entree-like things. Upstairs, there was a private dining room that was kind of blocked off, so we opened it up, and that's where we made our super. We wanted to keep everything very organic and very much so that the diner or the guest can kind of create their own experience.
Yeah, I think the super was kind of inspired by some traditional corner stores from Korea that would have your convenience stores, your liquor, your beer. For us, it was a way to kind of explore what other Asian American businesses are doing, as well as what local LA is doing, and being able to share some of those things in a kind of quick stop convenience store.
Well, in Korea, supers are usually like family owned. Sometimes they're named after like the city they're in or the family that owns them. So we created Yangban Super, and we just tried to select all of our offerings by either choosing an LA-based company or an Asian American owned company.
This is our super. Starting from this corner, we just had some shirts, some basics that we had embroidered here in LA, just kind of echoing some of the brand colors. Some snacks, a few of my favorites, the butter coconut snacks, these biscuits, really good in the morning with coffee. My daughter really likes eating them as well. Also, these caramel corn peanuts, something I grew up with, as well as these shrimp crackers. Two of my kind of favorite snacks within the super.
These are some of our just like random fun products that you might find in a super. Again, we chose to represent all local LA-based companies or Asian American owned companies. So these are really fun goshi shower towels, or the Asian exfoliating towels for the shower. We have soap. We have a custom Yangban soap, and this was made by a woman in Berkeley, California. These bison candles are really great because they are all smells that are supposed to evoke childhood memories for Asian Americans.
So exploring the drinks, we always wanted this to kind of be fun and evocative of the convenience stores that I used to grow up with, visiting my grandma in Korea, spending summers. So starting here, we have some Milkis and 2%, kind of two ubiquitous Korean sodas and beverages, as well as the Bakasti, which is like a Korean Red Bull. Over here as well, some cocktails that we're making in-house, some soju. Over here, kind of an experience of highs and lows. So we have like Krug Champagne, but we also have a Delta Brut Rosé, which is made by our friends up in Healdsburg. Must-have items, I think for one, we just put a special on of biscuits and curry gravy, kind of a hodgepodge of like southern biscuits that have been lightly laminated with a gravy that's also kind of inspired by my childhood of having more of a Japanese Korean gravy.
Yeah, I love the black bean bolognese because it's a combination of that really popular Korean takeout food, the black bean noodles. But we've taken the sauce and added wine and mirepoix and kind of drew from my experiences. I've worked in Italian restaurants. Serve it with rice and lightly salted cucumbers and scallions and a little sesame. And it's really like hearty and comforting.
Also, like our pea shoot and chive salad seems to be having people coming back as well.
Pea shoot and chive salad is inspired by like the scallions you get at Korean barbecue. So they're usually just a bunch of thinly cut scallions dressed in like a little bit of vinegar, and it works really well to cut the fattiness of meats, and it's like a really cool side dish. So we kind of take chives, pea shoots, toss them with apple vinegar, toasted breadcrumbs, Korean chili flake, and it's like really, really simple but refreshing at the same time. I love it when people come in and they say, I've never seen anything like this before. That was the goal, so I hope they mean that in a positive way. But we've been hearing a lot of that, and yeah, that was always our goal, trying to do something familiar and accessible, but at the same time a little bit different. I think like the past generation of Asian Americans, a lot of times the restaurant owners, it was out of necessity. And with that comes, you know, struggle and sacrifice. I think we're in a time now where like our generation is kind of having the luxury of being creative and owning restaurants and cooking food more for passion and less out of need. And so it's really cool to see how that's contributing to the evolution of Korean American cuisine.
We've always known we've wanted to open something similar to this. Obviously, going through the process has been a huge learning experience, but I don't think for any second we think that we belong doing something else or that this isn't where we belong right now.
Well, I would say the name of the deli, Yangban Society. The society part was meant to that we hopefully would have, you know, other concepts, other ideas, and those things would all be part of Yangban. Yangban Deli being the start of the brand, but hopefully, you know, some other concepts that help round out and make a society.
That's what you call couple goals right there. Congrats to John and Katiana, and I can't wait to see what's next for Yangban Society. Coming up, we may not be going to the islands for Valentine's Day, but I'm making waffles that are inspired by the flavors of Hawaii. Then I'm showing you how to make mini apple pies that look like roses. And you know those candy hearts with the messages on them? Well, Levi and I are making our own version with store-bought cake. Here's a delicious brunch idea for your sweetie this Valentine's Day. Take a look at how I make my Hawaiian Inspired Waffles. So Valentine's Day this year falls on a Monday, and I think Monday's a tough one to go out to dinner or to make a nice breakfast. So I'm gonna make you something today that I actually made a few weekends ago. And it really takes a lot of help from a boxed waffle mix. I think this would be nice to maybe do Sunday the day before Valentine's Day for your sweetie. And it's special because there's a little bit of rum in my maple syrup. And also, it's kind of like a taste of Hawaii. It's macadamia nuts, coconut, pineapple, all inside of a crispy waffle. And then that butter rum syrup. It's like you're on vacation when you eat these waffles. It's so great. And I really think the help of a store-bought waffle mix, you can make your own homemade, but this just kind of cuts a big step when you do it this way. So I'm gonna show you guys how I did this recipe. A cup of our waffle mix, got a cup of milk, and I love on the weekends, you know, making pancakes or waffles, but this is extra special because you put a little booze in it. And it's just a different, kind of kicking it up a notch, I guess. A tablespoon of butter, melted, 1 egg. And just to kind of add some extra flavor to our box mix, some vanilla extract. I also happen to love just a little bit of cinnamon. Okay, so let's mix that around. And then to give it kind of that kiss of Hawaii, some crushed pineapple, drained. So I pushed, basically I took a spatula and kind of, pressed all the water liquid out. So I'm gonna add a half of a can. Oh, that's my waffle maker. That's my waffle maker telling me it's ready to go. And that's it, guys. Our waffle mix is ready for the waffle maker. So easy. So I just pulled out of the oven. I think this is an extra little special step to make these waffles so good. Macadamia nuts toasted and coconut toasted. And I'm gonna add that to our batter. First though, I'm gonna chop up our macadamia nuts. So just a rough chop to these. Go, and you're gonna get a little crunch in each waffle with the pineapple and the coconut. So good. And I just toast them because I think anything toasted has more flavor than if it wasn't toasted. So that goes for the macadamia nuts and for the coconut. To our batter, I'm gonna add our coconut. I'll save a little to garnish on top. Same goes for the macadamia nuts. I'll just leave a little behind for garnishing. Give it a mix. These are chunky, yummy waffles. Okay, we are ready for our waffle maker. Nice and hot. To that, I have some coconut oil because it can stick. So I'm just gonna hit home that coconut flavor. Take our ladle. And the hard part about this is just measuring to make sure you get the right amount. Hear the sizzle. To make our buttered rum maple syrup, start with some good maple syrup in the pan pot. Then to that, a good amount of butter. I would do a couple of tablespoons. So we're gonna melt that with our maple syrup. But the real special part is just a splash of rum. Makes this syrup out of this world. And even kids could, when you cook with rum, when you cook with alcohol, you cook it for a little bit and the alcohol comes out, so you're left with the flavor. So the whole family can really enjoy this. And then just a splash of rum, and you don't want to do it over open flame, or you could have a little explosion. And that's it. And then you just keep this warm on the stove and we wait for our waffles. This breakfast came together in 10 minutes. Look at those, golden brown, gorgeous. So after my waffles cook, I like to put them on a cooling rack so air gets underneath, because otherwise they steam. If you were to put them right on a plate, the steam would get under there and make them soggy. So this cooling rack helps them stay crispy. Here's what we do. I'll show you how I plate these. Our buttered rum sauce. You're gonna want some extra of this. I like to put it on the plate too, so you can dip. The extra toasted coconut, a little of that on top, some of that macadamia nut. And then last but not least, I just think it makes everything prettier. And there you go. You've got your Hawaiian style waffles with toasted coconut, macadamia nuts, and rum maple syrup. I think this is better than any Valentine's Day card. Maybe even better than flowers.
Everybody can make waffles. I don't know what Mommy is talking about.
I made those a few weeks ago for Ari and Levi, and they loved them. Coming up, Levi and I are making a sweet treat together for Valentine's Day. Then I'm turning apples into a beautiful rose-shaped dessert. That's coming up next. Valentine's Day is not complete without those little conversation hearts. Levi and I having fun recreating these treats, but with cake. Oh, we're making a sweet treat for Valentine's Day, right, Levi?
Yeah.
Do you know, because these are old school candy hearts for Valentine's Day, and they have cute little
And
sayings.
do you want to see me eat one?
Yes, like this one says, call me, smile, XOXO, goat. That's a new addition to the candy hearts. Hug me, all that stuff. Peace. So what we're gonna do, Levi, I thought it'd be cute. We took our little heart cookie cutter and just some box cake. This is a Funfetti, this is strawberry, and I just cut out the shapes of the heart. But the fun part is all of these meltables, right? And so meltables, you can get them at Michael's, you can get them on Amazon, and they come in all different colors, and they're just easy to melt in the microwave. And it's basically an icing.
No, they're kind of hard to do it.
It just takes a little bit of time, a couple of minutes. We could coat our hearts, you pop it in the fridge for a few minutes, then they get hardened, and we can write cute little messages.
I mean, got another one.
Yeah?
Got another heart.
Thank you. So what do you say I try one and see how it goes? And I put it on top of a cookie
I got
sheet
another one.
with a wire rack, and I'm gonna test it out. And if it gets too thick, what you do is you pop it back in the microwave, but you basically put enough on so that it coats the whole thing and slides down. That's why you put that parchment there. Yes, Levi.
That looks beautiful.
Right?
I don't like purple, but it's still beautiful.
Purple's not your favorite color?
No. I got another heart for you.
Thank you. Who's your Valentine this year? Does she have a name?
I don't know. We're gonna get to eat
boy.
all of that cake.
I know. Let's try another color.
I think the yellow one is too thick.
I know, I might have to put them back in the microwave. Should we try pink? Let me try pink. Pink on the strawberry cake. Yes, look at that. Woo!
I got a couple hearts. Are you happy that we get to eat all of this cake? And I'm also putting some purple on here.
Okay, blue time. Who are you gonna give a Valentine's card to in your class?
I'm gonna give it to Julie.
Julie. Miss Julie is your teacher.
I know.
She's so sweet.
I want to give it to Julie.
Oh, that's so nice. What do you say to Miss Julie on Valentine's Day?
Happy Valentine's Day. Bye-bye. I'm gonna go play.
Miss Julie deserves this and more. Levi, how about the nacho cheese color?
I'll try some nacho cheese color.
Nacho cheese colored hearts. Why not? Ready for green?
My favorite color is green.
But isn't this fun, Levi? It's good
And this is all
family fun over here. Okay, these weren't at all how I expected them to look. But that's what happens when you try something for the first time. Anyway, Levi's having his lunch, so I'm gonna just doodle on a couple of these. But it really was just maybe 5 minutes in the fridge and it hardens up. So just like our candy hearts, how they have cute little messages, I have some red gel, and I'm gonna do a little message. XOXO. There's one that says sweet. Let's write love on one. How about love? This takes full concentration right now. The classic Be Mine. Levi, you wanna come write a few? What are you gonna write, Levi or?
I'm gonna write L-E-V-I.
Okay, do it. What do you say I put them on a plate and see if I can make it look presentable? Maybe I put them on top of here. These will be the base. I'm gonna try something to try to zhuzh it up. You know what, Levi? I say we give up and we just eat it. You wanna have one?
Yeah.
This might have been a recipe fail, but tastes pretty good.
The messier it looks, the yummier it looks.
I don't think it'll impress our sweethearts, but it was fun hanging out with you anyway. Thanks, Levi. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Okay, so maybe the conversation heart cakes didn't turn out exactly how I envisioned, but they still tasted good, and Levi and I had a lot of fun and made a huge mess making them. Well, how about some edible roses for this Valentine's Day? All you need are 4 ingredients for my apple rose tarts. All you need is 4 ingredients, and check out how beautiful these apple roses turn out. Here's how easy they are to make. Using a mandolin, preferably cut your apples into really thin slices. Pour boiling water over your apples to soften them, then add a squeeze of lemon along with a teaspoon of sugar to keep them from browning. Lay your apples out on a paper towel to drain and butter up your muffin tin. Sprinkle flour over a sheet of puff pastry, roll it out, then cut the sheet into thin strips. Now here's the fun part. Layer your apples on each puff pastry strip, fold over the pastry dough, and then roll it up. Ta-da! You should start seeing a rose. Place your roses in a muffin tin and bake them in a 350-degree oven for 30 to 45 minutes. Heat up some apricot jam on the stove. When your roses come out of the oven, brush them with the jam to make them shine. And there you have it, mini rose apple pies for your Valentine. I love recipes like that, easy and pretty to boot. Well, that does it for us. I'll keep you guys posted on our house renovation. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.
I feel like my Valentine's treats never quite work out.
No,
I had issues last year too.
but they're so beautiful.
I always have issues.
Do you see me eat that chocolate? They will show you how it looks like tomorrow.
Exactly. Can I see your sleeve? Can you hold up your sleeve and show Brian? Oh gosh. Oh no.
Ellie. And that's a nature fail.
A major fail?
A nature fail.
I think my advice on this one is just to buy something from the bakery for Valentine's